Coming to you straight from the Rio Grande and beyond. Broadcasting to the four corners of the globe. So grab your seat, your coffee, or your sundowner.
Okay, everybody, here we go.
On point, as always. This is Gloves Off. Gloves Off.
Back at you, Gloves Off, and today it's the second week of early votes, and I have candidate Helen Montoya right here next to me, and we're touching base on how our campaign's going.
Hi.
Good.
Thank you very
How's
much.
your campaign going? Tell me what's going on.
It's very well. It's tiring. I'm getting a lot of good feedback from a lot of people. People are look for me on Facebook and send me message if I need help, and they want to help with the campaign, and it's going. It's great. It's awesome. Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
It's something different.
The voter turnout's been low, right?
It's been very low. I see that it's probably about 9,200, including the Republicans, right? I know those don't count for us, but yeah, it is low. I think it's low everywhere, not just here in Laredo.
Yeah, I read something that it was low across the state. Mm-hmm. Low voter turnout.
You know what? I come across a lot of people, and they're very discouraged with politics. They tell me, "Nombre, I stopped voting a long time ago. Things don't change. You have the same people in office." And then I try to talk to them. And I'm like, well, because of that, because they don't come out and vote.
It's that we always talk about integrity and election this, election that, and every year you always hear. And it's all here in Webb County. It's always been the Democrat side. Because really, the Republicans haven't won anything here in 30 years, right? Except just the state and the presidential elections every so often. Now, what happens is that every camp always blames the other one for corruption. They always talk that the votes weren't counted right, that this wasn't counted right, that this happened, that this happened. Well, we saw this in the last election.
Yeah.
We saw this, and we saw law enforcement played a very big role in that.
Yeah.
And nothing was done. So when you see that, it's discouraging. It's discouraging to a lot of people. They're not going to vote.
Yeah.
And people say, how come because of that? So we need candidates, and I tell you, and I tell everybody else, and you all have to be enthusiastic enough to bring, you're selling yourself, you're branding yourself, to bring those out there to come vote,
Yes.
And
yes, I have encountered a couple. I was in Rio Bravo the other day, and this lady, I came, she wanted to talk to me, so I went. She's like, it's been 22 years when I stopped voting. I stopped voting. It discouraged me. Politica nomás no sirve. Dijo, but, I've learned some stuff about you, dijo, and I'm going to go vote, mija. I want you in there. I was like, well, thank you very much. It's appreciative. We do want to change. People want change. People want change, and it's hard to convince people when you don't know them, or just because of a poster, just because of a, advertising. It's good to talk to them, but sometimes, they don't give you the time, and it's okay. Well, try to give them my platform and stuff, but we can't say much though. I can't put out what I want to do. All I can tell them is, I know I'm a hard worker, and I know I'll be there 24. Like, assessor 24/7. That's what you are. People say, I told you 24 horas you're going to be working. No, but you meet people outside, you talk to them, and they ask you a question, and you need to help them out.
absolutely.
And I feel that I know that I could be a full-time tax assessor and hands-on. I could be hands-on there in the office.
Yeah, But how do you see besides that, how do you see people coming at you when you present yourself? Are they very receptive towards you?
A lot. People just, tell me, esa señora needs to get out. She did her part, and always, I have never said anything negative about her. See, she did her job. I've learned from that. I learned that people need good customer service. I mean, that taxpayers, that's what they want.
She's I like her.
Mm-hmm.
I consider her a friend. I think that she's done a lot of good. We're not going to lie.
No, there's no lie to it.
Give credit to where credit's due.
Yeah.
But I'm not voting. Like I told her, I removed my name from the thing, so I'm not voting. I got very discouraged. I just went over there and legally I removed my name. Yeah. And so it puts me at ease. Yeah. Okay. So if somebody's coming, not going, or this and that, it doesn't matter. But I think we need new change, new ideas to come inside. You can't be running a great office outside, put people inside the managerial office and bring it down and claim, they're hate me. No, you have to take responsibility for that and do some good and change that. Sometimes you have to fire. It's very hard to fire somebody.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's very hard to fire somebody that's not doing right, but you have to learn how to fire.
People tell me.
There's a lot of and you probably heard it.
Yeah, people tell me, "Are you ready to take that big of an office?" It's difficult to have a lot of employees and know where to put them. And I said, yes, but I know that I will listen. I know where you have some employees in a position where they're not supposed to be there. They're not experienced for that position, and you're just they're lacking a lot of management. That's office. That's why it's like that. And people say, no, pues I go in and out, 5 minutes, whatever. Yes, but there's a lot of things that are inside that you are not aware of. And it just does affect a lot. It affects the employees. There's a lot of drama in there right now, and it's not out in the public, but we know. I know that we need to change that.
Well, let's talk on the positive side, because positivity always wins. What would you do when you come in there? You're going to be more person that's going to be working with everybody? Are you going to be somebody that is going to be let somebody else take the reins, or it's going to be you that's going to be telling you? I will be. That is my job. That's what you're going to be paid for.
You can't have other people just running the office, because apparently, and I noticed, and I was witness to that. You have management, but that management not always tells you what's going on in that office. Why? Because they want to prevent, for you to get angry I mean, it's happening right now. So I want to be there. I want to be the one that's, knowing who's working where are you hiring, your management or your employees. Everybody needs to be cross-trained. First of all, you need more employees. They do need more employees in that office. You need to know where they're supposed to be. You can't have four people out in the lobby. I mean, it's not necessary. We used to have one person out in the lobby. They used to go ahead and change every couple of hours. You can't have just one person doing all the transfers. I mean, you have 17 tellers where everybody needs to be working on something. We used to do that a lot. We used to be cross-trained. We used to work on motor vehicle taxes, everything at the same time. You don't stop working. So that's what I want to do.
Yeah, but it's unfortunate. That sometimes when you're running an office or a business, and you leave somebody in charge, a manager, the manager might be causing you a lot more wrong to your business. In this case, an office. And you don't realize, because they tell you everything's taken care of, until then all of a sudden, bingo, everybody's against you, or your business went down. And I think that's what's happening here. And it's unfortunate that it's happening. Sometimes we become complacent in it. Sometimes we become, nothing's going on, I'm fine. Then you find out you're not fine. And I think, if you're a good person, you should wake up to what people are telling you.
I believe if you have the experience of so many years, I believe that you know what's going on. You should be aware. I was there, and I know that that's going on, and there's no eye opening right now. There's just like, I don't care what you tell me, I'm good. This office is still running well. Yes, but there's something in there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully the way it goes, and hopefully people become receptive and analyze that. And it's just going to be who got more people.
Yes, I understand. I sometimes I kind of get discouraged as to they tell me this and that. I'm like, look, you want somebody that knows a lot of people, or you want somebody that knows how to work. That comes back to politics, right? Like whatever people want, and I'm okay with it, and I'm here, and I'm 100% out there talking to people and letting them know what my plan is.
And it's sad because one of the largest employers are the school districts. They employ more people than the county and everything else. And when you look at the voter numbers and who votes, you see the 2 school districts voting. You see Webb County and all the departments, they're voting because they're forced to vote, and also the city of Laredo. And they'll check your name, and they'll check in there, you voted Democrat. You can't vote for the Republican side. That's why we have a lot of people winning on the Republican side in the general, because everybody voted Democrat. Oh, and your wife didn't do that, and your kid, and they'll check your list.
Yeah.
And if something happens, they'll put you, all of a sudden now you had a schedule from 9 to 5. All of a sudden now, guess what? Now you're working grave shift.
Yes.
Because you didn't vote or what have you, and they'll make your life miserable. Unfortunately, that's happening. We need to stop that, because that's what's discouraging a lot of people.
Yes, it is. I've gotten calls where they tell me, hey, just a question, can you know who I voted for? I was like, no, you're never going to know. It's because someone got my name, and something because of a list, they have to turn into that person, and I don't want to be in that list that she's going to know who I voted for. And I'm like, nobody's ever going to know your vote.
They know that you voted.
Yes, they know.
They just don't know who you voted for.
And they tell me, like, you need to have a list, you need to do this, and I've been doing that. It's hard, having to go every day highlighting who went to vote.
Voted. Yeah.
Yeah, and people get like, it's because I don't want to say my name, or I don't want to do this. I was like, just go out and vote. People are very afraid of that. They're afraid of retaliation.
Yes.
All the employees there are afraid of retaliation.
If you don't vote, I'll guarantee you might not be working.
Mm-hmm. Or you better know what name you're saying out there, because I'm going to find out. And it's happening. It's sad, Paul, because it is happening with a lot of employees there. Dealers, people with businesses.
It's
retaliation. And when you have the power to be in there, because I won't retaliate against nobody, because hey, Paul, you don't vote? Fine, that's cool. You don't vote.
And I say this openly, because I'm not afraid of any of those individuals anyway. What are they going to do? And I ran over there and I removed it. I go, I removed it. I want nothing to do with it. But if you and I committed some form of voter fraud, you and I are going to be spending time. We'll be wearing orange jumpsuits, breaking rocks, cleaning up in a chain gang, picking up trash. That's what we will be doing.
Yeah.
But these guys committed voter fraud. I think one of them still has his job. The other one's retirement, full paycheck. I don't know what else is going on. Nothing ever happened to these guys. And then they say, it was a candidate. It was not the candidate's fault. It was the person that committed the fraud. It's incredible. It's just, it's, you can't make this up. You can't make it up. If you wanted to write a movie, you couldn't make it up with everything that happened.
No.
The threats that you get, I remember before, it was worse, 10, 15 years ago. I used to put signs on properties. Hey, oye, mijo, me hablaba un tío. Oye, mijo, me dijeron que mi hijo está trabajando con sheriff, not this sheriff, it was the regime that was there before. And he's chinga, if you can change the sign para ponerlo, porque he might get affected. Digo, ese sobrino, primo que tengo que nunca saluda, no, ¿me entiendes? Now soy tu primo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you know what I'm, and then you're like, really? Now you're my cousin? And you never even said hi. you know, it's Laredo is Laredo, and
it's sad.
you know,
sad.
The Walking Dead will vote. You know,
And they tell me, don't talk to this one, and don't. You know what? I talk to everybody. This is me. I can't hide myself. I like saying hi to everybody. If I know you, or even if I don't know you, I'm gonna say hi just because that's me. And they tell me like, no, it's good. You need to know who you're with, and you need to. You know what? At the end of the day, I don't even know if they're voting for me. I don't even know if you're lying to me. They say, te traje tantos votos, because of también eso. People, you have to pay people, and I tell them, hey, I don't have money. I mean, I'm running my campaign as, as less expensive than I can. Like, I don't have money. Gracias a Dios, I really, really thank God. My family is 100% with me. Friends, close friends are 100% with me. And they tell me like, hey, whatever you need, I'm here. Tengo poquita gente aquí allá, and they're doing it out of their heart. Yeah. Like, they don't asking for nothing. And they tell me, hey, que les tienes que llevar comida. I have somebody else. No, no te preocupes, yo ya le llevé. I'm so calm with that.
And people do not understand that. They come up there and they say, oh, I'll hold your sign for tanto. I'll hold your sign for tanto. Then you say, all of a sudden, I don't know. Okay, fine. It's election season it's a business. That's what it is.
It is a business.
And unfortunately, that's where it's at. And it's, I think we have to put a cap on how much you can spend in your elections. We have to put a cap of how much it is, and that's it.
That's it.
And people take so much advantage, and all of a sudden it's this price. All of a sudden the price I went this much for whatever it is. You used to buy the shirts for this price, but now your election, now it's going to be this price. And it's crazy, and people do not understand that. I mean, you have to be. I tell this because I know you, and I know where your brother-in-law stand, and they've always been helping the community for years. So when people say, "Oh, that's from that family," you know that you've been helping somebody for years. But when you've never done anything, all of a sudden you take a picture with a bunch of waters or a fan and say, "I'm going to take it to the old folks in my neighborhood." You don't even know where your neighborhood is at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you're like, "No, enough's enough." But unfortunately, that exists. That's part of the game. It's. I can support whoever I want. I'm a free man. It's on the mind and members, and I'm going to vote. I'm going to support anybody who wishes to do something right. And I'm not voting because of what I found in there and what it is.
And it's respected,
And that's just the way it is. And
I think if a lot of people knew that, you have that option to go out there and
you do have
take
that
your
option.
name, I think a lot of people would do that.
I think it's a law. You can look it up. It's on the penal code, and it's also in the election codes. You yourself have to go and write that you want to have your name removed from the election list and your vote for a voter registration. And that is the biggest protest that everybody can do, because we had 81 million that voted. And that's the best thing you can do. Instead of sitting back and allowing somebody to get your card or your letter and put in your name and send it as an absentee ballot. Yes. Be very careful, because a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't like them, so I'm not going to vote." Okay, you don't like them, but you're not going to vote, but your name is still on the list. Somebody can pick up your name, place it on a ballot, forge the signature, send it in as a mail-in ballot, and you voted. It happens.
Yes, it does.
It happens. I know people running around with stacks of mail-in ballots in their pockets, signing people up. It happens. Whoever wins this election is going to win it by the mail-in ballots that were sent in. Because you might pull in 100 people, all of a sudden, bingo, all these mail-in ballots come in, and you're like...
Yeah. I still don't understand that. I've asked around, because I'm not gonna say names, but they're gonna know who it is. This time around, when Ms. Barrera won, one person, we were in a conversation at a table, and he said, "This is how we won with the absentee ballots," because they were very close, her and Ms. Cuella. And it was surprising to me, I've already told you last time, in that race, it was very discouraging because it was Ms. Barrera and Ms. Cuella. I mean, in reality, why would you want somebody that already left? Why would you want them back in the office? And apparently, okay, she won, whatever. And that person was saying, we did this, and I would go and I would just sign and this. And that was surprising because I didn't understand it. Now I'm understanding because now people are telling me, okay, you do this, and that person is out there, okay, same race, whatever. And it's like, okay, I mean, I'm just waiting, whatever happens. I expect that people that are honest, they go out there and vote.
The honest people won't cheat. But remember, this is not about honesty. This is about who cheats the best. And unfortunately, that's what I got out of the elections of Webb County. Who cheats the best is the one that's going to win.
Or who lies the best too.
No, lies is one thing. You can be caught by lying. But who cheats the best? That's it.
Yeah.
I don't trust it one bit. Nothing. I'll say this open. For the longest time, you look back and you can go back in the newspapers. It's always, they fought this and recount, and the other one did this, and the other one. Wait a minute, you guys are from the same party. That didn't happen. So I'm not nor Republican nor Democrat. I'm an American. Left wing and right wing is the same bird.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we need term limits.
I think so too.
You got one shot, and if you can't do it in one time around, let somebody else do it. And it's too much money being in there. It's too much money being spent. I was listening to something here earlier today, and I was listening to it was a podcast. It was about 4 o'clock in the morning. I woke up, so I'm writing a book, and I was up there, and I had that going in the back, and I kind of stopped and paused, and they said, you know what? You know that Walmart is the largest company store in the world. Okay, in the world. They make thousands a minute. They hire so many people just in continental United States. Okay? They're building new infrastructure. They're building new spaces everywhere else. And it hasn't been around for that long. Okay? Comparison to what I'm going to talk to you now. And then they start talking about the Social Security, the infrastructure that we have in the federal government, how Social Security, these congressmen that were in there, and everybody that's up there in Washington, D.C., has depleted it. How we're in debt in education. How we're in debt over here. How they brought it below standards of. And the guy said, maybe we should hire the people, the CEOs of Walmart to run the United States to make it better again. That's what we need. We need businessmen that are going to be out there to run it, not individuals or political career politicians. We need to change that. I'm for term limits. We need term limits, and we need it across the board, term limits. We can't have a congressman, a state representative, a senator every 2 years voting. How about giving them a 4-year term? Okay, we have companies that have millions here, millions. They're getting millions for them to do something here, and yet they're always asking for more. So it's kind of devastating. We need people that are able to control what's going on there. Ms. Barrera did a wonderful job.
Yes,
when she started, she had that whole thing in there. But again, you can bring somebody into your plan that you think is doing a good job and is doing you harm. And that to me is what I look at her, and you try to talk to her, they don't want to rationale, you know, but it's okay. The thing is, voting is voting. I don't, you know, I wish I could have her and you win, you know, and I think it would be the best thing. But you have to have one winner in the end of the thing.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying? And it's hard to say because we need people that have not a new vision, can think out of the box and let's get this going forward.
Exactly.
I'm not going to control you to do it. No, we have to stop that.
Yeah.
I mean, and they ask me, what do you think? How come many people aren't voting? But look at what's going on.
Yes.
Just look at
I hear that a lot.
That's not really happening. Really? It didn't happen. Am I
hear
dreaming
that a
about
lot.
these police officers that, I don't know, how they moved to one house and they committed voter fraud y todavía andan ahí con el pito en la mano? No, I'm sorry. Did I dream that? Did it happen? I mean, it happened. And nobody did anything about it. Everybody hunky-dory. No. These elections, I'll say it again, folks. Here's a great candidate, has a new vision. Want to support her? How can they get a hold of her?
Is my phone number 956-436-3000. Email is votehelen2024@gmail.com. Anything they want to talk to me, I can give them information. I want to be the tax assessor to give solutions to the taxpayers, for those motor vehicle dealers, for those people, notaries, anything. I mean, like I said before, property taxes, there's nothing much to change, you know, but I can assess for you to do for you to have the right discounts on your properties, you know, for elderlies and stuff. I will have somebody if I'm there, right? I will have somebody to consult me with taxes. I've said it before. I don't have much experience in that. I did it the last 3 years of while I was working there. But I do have a lot. I'm ready for anything that's coming in for January 2025. I've heard there's things that are coming in for motor vehicle dealers. I don't know if you've heard that. I know the program. I worked it. That program has been there since 2015. I wanted to clear that up also, because I've heard I'm not going to be ready for that. I worked with web dealers. There's phases of the program. There right now it's going to be phase 3, and I worked it, and I know that I will come back of any training, and I will train my employees. It is very important to train all employees. I've been there, Paul, and it's so sad when you just get 3-4, and it's happening right now with that manager. 3-4 people in here, and they expect to go around and tell them. You don't get to tell everybody. You're supposed to have meetings. You're supposed to get everybody together, trainings. Hey, you know what? I close maybe 30 minutes before and have everybody sit down, listen to you, know what's going on everywhere with new programs, new anything. Let them know. I will be doing that. I will have people well trained, you know, to know what information they're giving out. You know, that's very sad also when somebody gets to one of the windows and they're told something. And I was just called this week and this guy told me, oh yes, nobody knows anything. I was with one of the guys and he me estaba dando the right information. I tried to ask, and he turned around and he asked somebody. That somebody got up, went to ask somebody else. Then they went into the office and asked something else. And that's 4 people. That shouldn't be happening. That is a very well-paid job. That is well-paid job. Thanks to Ms. Barrera, because she's done. That's something that she's always done. She's always had, you know, the funds. She always gets that fund for us to be paid well.
Yeah.
But you're supposed to be knowledge. You're supposed to have knowledge to give that information out to the taxpayers. And that's what I will be doing. I know for sure that I can make that change. I can make that happen in that office.
Yeah, well, that's a good start. Folks, I'm going to leave you with this. Helen Montoya, candidate for Tax Assessor of Webb County. And do your research. If you're going to go out and vote, do your research, study, give each candidate a call. Find out, ask them straight out directly. Find out, but be careful because, like she said, I'll say it again, if you sleep on it and say you're not going to be voting, somebody else might be voting for you. And unfortunately, things like that occur. And
it is what it is.
that's what it is.
It is what it is.
So we're going to leave you with this.
Don't be scared to go out and vote. Nobody will ever know who you voted for. It will be seen at the end who the winner is, and apparently they're going to know there that you didn't vote for them. But don't be scared. Don't be scared. Go out and vote. It's very important.
Yep. Till next time, much peace. God bless you. Thank you
Thank
again.
you very much.
Keep
Thank
going
you for
strong.
having me.
Till next time. See you later.